here with reaction. Fox News senior strategist and analyst, General Jack Keane is with us. All right, a lot is going on. The conditions I laid out, I think, are imperative. They've got to give up their 60% enriched uranium, anywhere, any place, anytime inspections. The straits have to be open, give up any dreams of a new ballistic missile program. And I think, knowing President Trump as well as I do, I've not discussed it with him, but I think he's going to want them to pay us back for this military endeavor. Thoughts?
Yeah, well, Sean, if you look at our military operation first, I think it'll lend us in terms of what we have to get out of the deal. I mean, where we are on the military operation, we're a little better than 3 weeks in. Sources indicate that we probably about 3 weeks left on the U.S. and the Israeli side to complete the operation. So that means we haven't achieved all of our objectives yet. We've got a ways to go. But what we have achieved is pretty significant. And remind our audience, what are we really trying to achieve here? One is that we're going to strip them of their ballistic missile program now and in the future. The same thing with drones, and what they have and also what they're capable of manufacturing. So taking down the current capability and the future capability is vitally important. When it comes to nuclear, absolutely take away their capability to do nuclear, specifically the enrichment, but also the centrifuges, the metallurgy that they need to do conversion. It's a comprehensive enterprise, and we have to take all of it away from them. That is the intent of the military operation. And obviously, the military has a plan to open the Straits of Hormuz by force and to keep it open. That is the reality of where we are. We're moving in that direction to accomplish all of those goals. And talking to the IDF and also talking to CENTCOM, both of them are very confident that we can achieve those objectives. So anything we're going to do in terms of the deal should accomplish those goals. In other words, they have to surrender to us those things that we are willing to take by force. And that is very comprehensive, and that's why it's a 15-point program. I've not seen it. I'm just surmising what's in it. That, I think, is behind the thrust here. And certainly, we made a comment that's going to complicate the deal, that we're still attacking them. That gives us leverage. We should not go to a ceasefire. I mean, if we go to a ceasefire, that's playing right into their hands. We want to keep the pressure on them to make a deal that makes some sense. And that is the path. I'm skeptical here, Sean. We're dealing with a regime that's pathological liars and cheaters. And they have done everything they can to deceive us in the past. And just prior to going into this conflict, Sean, one of the reasons why we went into it is because the Iranians were lying to us and not willing to be forthcoming in terms of the deal. And obviously, we began hostilities. There were other reasons for it, but that was certainly one of them. So we have to look at these people. We know who they are, 47 years here. And President Trump knows exactly who these people are. And I think he knows what he wants out of this. He wants essentially for them to surrender everything that we would take from them by force. That makes some sense.
Okay, won't the greatest test, General, of this be, now that we're dealing, we don't even know who the real leaders are. We're now at like the fourth tier level of leadership in Iran. Okay, will they be more practical, maybe less radical, maybe less extreme, less sophisticated than the former supreme leader and all his sycophants around him? Won't the first test be whether or not they hand over that 60% enriched uranium? And doesn't that have to happen while our military has that strong presence in the region?
Oh, my God, yes, absolutely. We're going to know pretty early on. They've got those 15 points. We haven't heard back from them on this. I would be stunned if they made all of those concessions and surrendered all of that capability. But it points out, I think you put your finger on something that's really critical. What we're hearing from the Israelis, who are closer to what's happening inside the regime because of the informants they have that are working and talking to them, is there's chaos in the decision-making process. The people in the leadership positions, and these are obviously second tier and down, they are concerned about what? They're concerned about personal survival, number one. And number two, they want the regime to survive, recover, and rebuild. But yes, if we're going to talk to somebody like in the Army, ground force, but not in the IRGC, it is possible to work with someone like that that doesn't have the ideological and tyrannical background that the IRGC members have and that top tier of leadership. There's still some of those members there. I don't know who we're talking to, Sean, but I do know this. The regime wants to survive, and that is their number one goal, and then they would want to recover and rebuild. But if we take it away from them in terms of what our military plans are, to include Carg Island, which takes away their economic viability, that regime is in real danger of collapsing. Whether we can achieve that end through negotiations remains to be seen, Sean. I mean, if you ask me if I had a preference here, I would take the military operation and finish these guys once and for all.
Okay, General Keane, maybe sage advice, I'm not sure. One thing's for sure, we cannot go back. And that means that any of that enriched uranium has to come with us or has to be, somehow degraded to such a level that it could never be used. We appreciate you being with us, General. Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.